Welcome back to What's Going On. We have some fun guests, don't we, John?
Yes, we do.
We have Kristin Holzman, owner of Prince Michel, right?
Yep.
And many other hats, I'm sure.
A few.
Yeah. And Brad Hansen, the winemaker.
Yay!
You're just a great pair.
We work well together.
You have like one of our favorite things, wine.
So as a wine owner, are you only as good as your winemaker?
Absolutely.
Really?
Good question.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about Prince Michel and how that came about, and what your background is with that business.
Well, I took ownership about 5.5 years ago, and so from there we changed the whole face of Prince Michel to have it be very friendly, very welcoming,
Accessible.
We want people to feel like they're part of the family. When they come in, they walk out feeling like they had a true experience. And that's what it's all about. We have a sofa, a couple of chairs. Come, bring your own lunch. You can buy food there, buy a bottle of wine, sit and relax. And if you have too much, we have 4 suites in the back, and you can spend the night.
Love that. Oh, my goodness. That is such a great idea.
You really have come to our home there.
Welcome to the family.
I really love that philosophy a lot. And we'll have to go and take advantage of those suites.
Yes. Tell us about winemaking. How did you begin in that?
Oh, winemaking is just an absolute blast. I had grown up on the Northwest, and the family had some fruit farms, nothing in grapes. But my undergraduate was in plant biochemistry. So the seed was planted as far as the growing goes. I knew all about plants and what made them work. I was living up in the D.C., Virginia area, and I spent some time with my parents going down to the vineyards in Virginia, Prince Michel being one of them. This was in the early 80s.
Wow.
And it really kind of took hold that I wanted to be in the wine scene. And so I talked to a lot of the growers at that time how to go about doing that. And they all pretty much came to the same conclusion, to go out to Mississippi State University.
Really?
And seek out Dr. Richard Vine.
Dr. Vine.
Dr. Vine, believe it or not.
You didn't make that up, did you?
No, not at all. He's a tremendous man, a lot of experience. He'd been in the industry for many, many decades, and set up his teaching there at Mississippi State.
Fantastic.
And so I spent 3.5 years, got my master's degree, and have been in the industry for a little over 20 years now.
And how long with Prince Michel? Has it been 8 years or so, or a little?
It's going on 12 years now.
Wow. 12?
Since you've been there.
Since I've been there.
Since you've been there, yes.
Yeah, Prince Michel has been going on since the early 80s.
That's fantastic. You know, I have to say, I love the signs out front, the wine glasses. Who made those?
George Sherwood.
George Sherwood, yes.
They're beautiful.
He's from Connecticut, and he does all of his art, all stainless steel, and now he lives in Massachusetts.
Now, is that a relatively new art piece out front, or has that been there since the 80s as well? Or
that was put in
before we bought it, so
okay.
that's
there
why.
was a little remodeling done back in 2002, and that was part of the remodeling.
It's beautiful. Do they move the little pieces inside the glass?
They're all kinetic, all stainless steel. His forte is kinetic sculpture, and you can see him in museums. You can see him at airports. The wind hits them, and they move in a lot of different directions and catch your eye.
I think differently about it.
You don't like them?
I like them, but they are only designed up to 50-mile-an-hour winds. So when we have big windstorms, we have to go out and lift them up and take them in, and then put them in our atrium because we have no place.
You've got to take those things out?
Yes.
Every time we get a storm.
And then we put them in our atrium. So while we're doing business, we have these huge sculptures inside laying on the floor, and then the next day we put them back out.
This is the other side of it. That you never see. Right. We see the pretty side.
The windstorms just come up, and you have to go out there at 10 o'clock at night. They'll be out there, get them out. So
wow.
And taking them down in the windstorm, they're like parachutes. Once you get them off, then they want to get away from you.
So that's the other side of how pretty they are.
Right. Okay. Well,
I have to ask.
Sorry.
Just because I'll probably never get the opportunity to sit with an owner and a winemaker together like this. How does that relationship work? You're making the wine. Is she the first hurdle, or is she like the third or fourth, or how does it work?
In owner winemaker relationships, I think I've got it really good, because I don't really consider you a hurdle so much.
that's nice.
Speed bump, maybe.
Sounding board, perhaps.
Sounding board.
I know what she wants to do with the company, and she gives me a fair amount of latitude to go in directions. I do a lot of experimenting, and then she gets to be one of the first tasters to give me either the
Perks,
up or
perks.
Go back to the drawing board.
That's a hurdle.
But it's a very good working relationship.
That's wonderful.
But like just 2 weeks ago, Brad came out with the raspberry, and we came out with a peach and blackberry last June. And right after that, it was taking off so well. We had talked to Brad and said, Brad, we need another wine, another fruit wine. And he started on it immediately. We let him pick the flavor. He went with it. He came up with the slightly carbonated. It's all his. But I had asked him to do the next one, and he was very agreeable. And I trust anything that Brad does.
Wonderful.
He has wonderful abilities, and dry, sweet, everything.
Shall we have a taste of
you,
the new one?
Yes,
would you like to try the new one
Sure.
first?
So is that the order we should go
You
in
tell
or
us
not?
which way we should go. You think we should do the Rapid River raspberry first?
Typically, we would do the
Rapidon?
lighter and then the heavier.
Okay.
But how we brought the food, we brought the Symbios, which is our big, bold Meritage, to go with the beef tenderloin. And then we brought this more as a dessert with the chocolate. But we'll do the food later.
For this, right. So
Okay.
for this
Wow,
purpose.
that looks beautiful.
It does, really looks beautiful. Thank you. And this is lightly carbonated.
Yes.
Yeah, this is actually a
join us?
blend of wine
Thank you.
and raspberry. And then as it was being bottled, it retains some of the carbon dioxide from the tank. Usually we would try to get rid of some of this carbon dioxide before we bottle a still wine.
Thank you.
But for this product, we wanted to make it a little bit different than the peach and the blackberry, which have already released. So this was the way, it's still a fruit wine, but there's a little bit new part about it, and that's the carbon dioxide.
I'm looking forward to it. It smells
Just like a
lovely.
handful of raspberries.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you. Cheers.
And so it's not a tremendously sweet wine that you might think of fruit
That's
wines.
Lovely. One could easily drink far too much of this and not realize what's hitting them until it hits them. It's just really lovely and light. And yes, the carb, it's just ever so.
Yep, just
not
enough to keep
overwhelming.
a fresh kind of spritz in your mouth.
And it's a great color. We're doing a promotion for Valentine's Day for it with the lightly pink.
It's really beautiful.
So you put out a fruit wine each year.
Actually, the fruit wine is something new for Prince Michel.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, we had, for almost 30 years, we've been making wines that you would find familiar in, France or Germany, Chardonnays, Cabernets, Rieslings. So we do have sweet wines, but the fruit part of the Rapid River came about, about this time last year when we started developing peach and blackberry. Those were released in May. And then this one was just released at the end of November. So it's the three fruits are relatively new to the line.
So what's different about working with other fruit, other than in addition to grapes?
Well, there are a lot of other things to think about as far as the stability that we have going on. I know lots and lots about grapes, the different types of grapes, white grapes, red grapes, how they grow. The fruit brings in a little bit more complexity in how the flavors marry with the grapes. Go through a lot of trial and error trying to come up with the best ones. We tasted a whole lot of peach and blackberry that quickly we were able to say, that's not going to work.
Yes.
So do you call this straight up a dessert wine?
From a
I say no.
Yeah.
I said no too because it's not, I don't know.
Generally, dessert wines are sweeter and more alcohol, like a port or a sherry. And this is the same body as a wine, and it's not very sweet.
How much residual sugar is in this?
This one holds about 4% residual, but between the raspberry and the carbon dioxide, it doesn't taste at all like 4%.
And then our Trebian is our dessert wine, and how much sugar is on that one?
13%.
Oh, yeah,
So
that's significant.
Right.
Yeah.
No, because I'm not a big sweet wine drinker, and I don't find this sort of prohibitively sweet at all. I mean, it's just, I can imagine sitting in Bermuda or Charlottesville on a sunny day, sipping this. It's really
with a bowl of fruit.
Yes. So we've worked a little magic of our own, and all of a sudden we're onto a lovely glass of red. Shall you introduce this for us?
This is our signature red. This is our Symbios. And it's a Bordeaux blend of Cabernet Sauvignon, Cabernet Franc, Merlot, and Petit Verdot. And it's aged for 27 months, all in French and American oak. So this is Brad's baby. This is what Prince Michel is known for.
It smells lovely.
Oh,
Just taking a nice big nose. It's lovely.
Brad.
This is what the French are known for, is the art of blending. And the trick is to get a wine that, in the end, is better than any of the grapes by themselves. It's very much a marriage in the barrel.
That's lovely.
It's smooth.
Yes, it is.
It is so smooth.
And it's a big red. So you can, that's why we brought the tenderloin, or the beef tenderloin, was because you need a big red meat to go with it.
Fantastic. I really wish that you could share this with us, but you can by visiting Prince Michel. In fact, why don't we talk about how our viewers can visit you? A website, address, any bit of information like that.
We're located on 29 North, just north of Madison, south of Culpeper, about half hour from Forest Lakes area. We also have another tasting room up at Carter Mountain, and we have the Carter Mountain labeled wines up there because most of those grapes come from Carter Mountain. And then you'll see the fruit wines up there as well. And they're just seasonal. That's April through November. And up at Carter Mountain, we have every Thursday night, we have free music, sunsets, and they're open until about 9. So great way to spend your Thursday nights in the summer.
Thank you so much, Kristin and Brad, for coming on the show and sharing your beautiful wines with us. It was really fantastic. And I love the concept of your tasting room and your suites. So we'll definitely come by and take advantage of that. But we'll give you good warning that we're coming by.
We'd love to have you. Thank you.
We'll bring a clan with us.
Yes, a big clan. Anyway, thanks for joining us again for another week of What's Going on Seaville. And we will see you next week. Cheers. Spread the good word.
Cheers.
VLTV. Oh yeah. VLTV.
Check the mic, make sure it sound right, boy.